What's going on, everybody? This is Justin with Audio Experience, and we've got a really exciting day today. After so many months of waiting, finally able to take the cable that was run and terminate it. So in order to do this, I would recommend a couple of very key tools that will help make this much easier of a process. So first thing is a very simple Sharpie or pen to mark on the cable itself. Second thing is going to be a jacket stripper. So this thing will strip the jacket off of the wire. The next thing is your wire stripper. This is super important. So I have the Klein tools. This is the Model K as in Kilo 11095 H11. So I tested out a bunch of different ones and just found that this was the best for this particular application. So this will do both solid and stranded wire, 18 to 8 solid and 20 to 10 gauge stranded. So this is plenty for like any type of, category cable or speaker cable, which is basically everything I'm going to be dealing with. So that's this. Next is going to be, this is a really cool tool. Now, I got this specifically because of what I'm doing, but this is a Knipex duckbill, and what's special about these is two things. Number one is the width of the actual plier surface, so it's a lot wider than, like, let's say a typical needle nose plier. But even more importantly than that is the lack of any sort of abrasive lines for gripping, and that is exactly what you do not want, because you do not want to damage the copper wire in any way when you're doing this. So I picked these up. This is the model number 3303160. This is a phenomenal tool. Great for what, again, not too much money, but if you're going to be terminating any speaker wire and you're serious about your audio system, highly recommend that tool. I am an AudioQuest dealer, and so I opted to go with their banana plugs, and this is the 500 series banana plug. So in order to properly terminate these, you need two tools. Number one is a Phillips screwdriver, and for that I have, this is just from like my iFixit kit. This is a 00 Phillips screwdriver, very important. So you have to have the right size, so that will take off. The tool that comes, they actually provide you with a tool. It's a multi-tool, it's this. It's really just, it'll get you by if you absolutely, can't or don't have what you need, but this is junk, I think. You want the right tool. So this has the spinning head at the bottom, allows you to spin through, get these things off in a very quick manner. So that's this. Again, 00 Phillips head screwdriver. Next is, once this front cover is pulled off, underneath the means by which you tighten the wire into the connector is a 1.5 millimeter hex or Allen key. So first step is to take our pants, that's what these are called, and we'll take the wire itself and line up the pants to the ends of the wire and then mark it with a Sharpie. As you can see, I already did this one right here. What you want to do is take these two pieces and then pull them apart until you get to the wire, a little bit past it, because this is going to be where we want to use that jacket stripper and take the jacket off from that point. So let's do that now. And again, I don't think I mentioned what this is. This is a Gennard Tools CST 1900. They do, there's like another one, I believe it's Knipex, I think, makes it, but it's literally identical to this, and it's like, this one's less money, so I went with this one. And also I like blue more than the other color. Anyway, so you basically push up on this. Underneath is a blade here, and then you just have to, you rotate it to adjust the height of the blade that you need. And so I've already done that for this, as to, the reason is you don't want to, have the blade cut past the jacket of the wire into the wire itself. You just want it to cut off the jacket of the wire. So what we'll do is we'll peel this one back, and lift up on this and put it right around where we need to go. And then I just rotate it like that. And we have a clean cut, and pull it off. And I recommend when you pull it off, spin, because otherwise you'll have a harder time. So you can discard that. And then you just have this white paper. All this stuff can be torn and pulled off. It's going to be discarded. So you could do that. And the reason why you want to rotate the jacket of the wire when you take it off is because, as you can see, the way the wire is installed in here, you've got a situation where it's being spun in a pattern. So it just makes it easier getting it off there. So we'll take that, put this to the side, and then take care of our second one. Okay. And we're peeling off the paper. And you can just pinch off the ends closest to the jacket. So now that we have the wires here, what we want to do next is separate the red and the black. So the way that this, and by the way, this particular speaker wire is an in-wall Rocket 33. And the way that they make this wire is they make it so that you can use it for either a bi-amp or bi-wire use case. But what we're doing is we are using these to power our in-wall speakers, and those only have a standard red and black binding post. So we will not be utilizing anything more than that. But if you wanted to use this for bi-wire or bi-amp, you do have two black and two red per side. So because that's not applicable to us in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to just separate the red and the black, and we're going to combine them all together. So we will have 4 black and 4 red wires. So I'm going to do that right now. You got to just unravel them from each other. I'd recommend as much as possible to lay them out in such a way that it will be easy for you to get them in a separate order. So for example, right here, if you look at the base here, we're pretty much like, we don't have anything wrapping around each other. Everything is pretty much going in the opposite direction, which is what we want. So next, and I'm going to leave that for just a moment. Now we have our banana plug ends. So what I'm going to do is take the screwdriver here, and there's 2 Phillips head screws in here. They're very small, and we're going to take them off and set them aside. I'd recommend don't cut your nails. Don't cut your nails as short as I did, because you want a little bit of nail on there to be able to get this sucker off. Make sure you don't lose it. Mama man. So once you get the screw off, just set it aside to somewhere that's going to be safe. You won't lose it. There's one. Yeah, doing this with that other tool that they included is just, I tried it on one and I'm like, yeah, nope. Not gonna happen. So that's why I strongly recommend getting dedicated tools for this. It just makes the job so much more easy rather than having to, deal with something that's difficult to work with. There's 2, so set those aside, and then this is just gonna pull off like that, and we'll put that to the side as well. So in order to determine how much of this wire to strip off, we will just simply insert this into here, and then mark that with our finger. And we grab our wire stripper. So we're gonna wanna insert this into, this is solid wire, and it's 16 gauge, so we want to insert it into that and squeeze, and then pull straight. Do not pull at an angle. You want to just pull straight off. This way the cable or the wire underneath stays clean. Stick that in, make sure it's in all the way, because if you stick it in like this, you might hit something. You got to make sure it's fully seated in the back. All right, let's see, that's 2. I'm gonna do the third one. And we're gonna do the 4th red one here. I can't tell you how much I love this wire stripper. It's very comfortable, and also the spring is just makes the work so much easier. It really, really does. All right, so we're gonna repeat the same process for the black wires. There we go. So we have all 4 black and all 4 red. Next step is gonna be to combine the wires. So you wanna lay them out such that all 4 are not crossing over each other. So if you look here, they're all in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and just kind of flatten them out, pull with your finger to get them all close together. And then we're gonna end up with something like this. All right, so all 4 wires are together. So pinch them together. Now we're gonna take our duckbill pliers and we're gonna pinch them all like this. And then we're gonna start turning. You don't have to, squeeze too hard, but hard enough so that the wires themselves begin to move. And once you get everything in a directional pattern, kind of like a candy cane, and everything is straight, you could stop. You don't need to do any more. So let's set that aside. That's going to be 1, and we'll do the same process for the black. So again, take the duckbill pliers, pinch them together, try to get all of them together and start turning. So now that we have both all done and wound, so we take our pants, and what we're going to do is we're going to feed one, doesn't matter which one, through one side of the pants, partly, and then take the other one and we're going to feed it through the other side of the pants. I would double check just to feel here to make sure that there's resistance so that the wires are going through, and then straighten out the one that you did second, in this case the black one. And now we just gently slide this through by holding here and pinching, and then sliding the pants down the wire. Keep going, and then once you get to here, we're gonna continue and cover this here. Make sure you might have to move the outer jacket of the wire a little bit to accommodate it. Let it go through. And as you can see here, we're starting to get some wire coming out the end. Keep going all the way until it's fully seated, until you can't go anymore. And that's gonna be right about there. Okay. So now we have our red wire and our black wire. So as you can see, there's not an evenness to the tip. So we want to make sure that all four are at the end. So we're gonna have to trim this a bit. Basically, as little as possible. Yeah, as little as possible to be cut off to ensure that all four wires are going to be flush with the end. There's the one. And I always like to double check and look to make sure that the ends have all four wires bunched together, and they do. So that's good. All right, next step is we want to go back to our plug here. So we'll start with the red. So this one here, you want to slide it onto the pants, and you want to slide it such that the correct way is where the hole for the Phillips screw is on the bottom, closest to the tip of the banana plug. And then what we're going to do is prepare our banana plug itself. So now what you want to do is take the 1.5 millimeter Allen key, and there's going to be 4 adjustment points. 1, 2 on the ends, and then 2 on the top. So we want to loosen those as much as possible without having them fall out of the cylinder here. And the reason why we're doing this is to allow as much space as possible when we're going to be inserting the end of the wire. And if you go too far like I did, you just go back and just do it like another turn or two. So inside is this little flexible plastic. So you can do this 2 ways. You can pull this plastic piece out, and then you can wrap it around here and then reinsert, or you can just leave it. We'll do one each way. So we'll leave this one in. Okay, So make sure that you're doing the correct color. So again, the wires here are red. And so what we want to do is we want to insert the wire into the banana plug. And you want to adjust, kind of pinch the end of the pant such that the clear plastic goes over the pant. So that's how we want to do it. And then you want to keep an eye through the two holes that are opposite each other, where the Phillips or the 00 Phillips screws go into. Look through those holes to see where the end of the copper wires land, because you want to make sure that they're going to the back of it as far as they need to go. So once you start seeing them waving by, and I do, now we know it's fully seated. All right, now that that's done, now what we have to do is just simply tighten all four. So we want to spin these two, and again, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Just spin it until you kind of reach resistance. You don't want to, torque the crap out of it, but just until it's snug. There's one, and there's two. Okay, now we're going to do the side ones. Now these ones on the side are not as critical as far as how tight. Okay, so that's that. And then the last step is going to be to slide the cover over the plug itself and locate the spot where the holes are to line them up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our two 00 Phillips head screws that we had set aside before, and we're going to install those now. Okay, and there's that. Both of them nice and tight. So that's going to be one complete. So now what we'll do is we'll do the same process for the other side, for the black side. So again, undo the two Phillips head screws on the side, drop them on your pants. Okay, and then so I'll just show you here. Easy way to do it is just take it off, put it right on the wire the same direction you took it off. There we go. And I said we would do this one a little bit different with what we did with this, so I'll show you how to deal with this here. And again, it's personal preference. There's no right or wrong way, as long as you get the proper seating of the wire and everything else. So what we'll do here is take this and we will install it over the wire itself and over the jacket, and just kind of leave it right about there, something like that. We can move it if we need to. And then we insert the wire. And again, keep an eye, be looking through the two holes there to ensure that the wire itself reaches the end of the tube. Yeah, I think I like leaving that in there, because then it looks like this one it's like sticking out a little bit longer. Our Allen key again and tighten these suckers down. And again, last step, slide the cover over and locate the screw holes, line them up with the holes on the cover piece. Don't do this near any sort of vent or anything else where you can possibly lose these things if they fall, because these are really small pieces. That's the completed left and right for one speaker.